Morning. If you want to see how we built this nice little jointer stand with built-in dust collection and a slide out storage unit, stay tuned because that's what we're going to do today. Well, welcome to another Memphis Monday 185. Today we're going to be building a jointer stand with built-in dust collection and a pull-out storage unit in the side instead of conventional drawers. Last thing I talked about was perhaps painting the top of this, and after I released the video, first thing I thought of is, well, why didn't I just paint it and put it in the video? Well, I didn't. So I'll show you. I painted the top of our project from last week, and I'll show you that. Well, we're not going to get anything done. We're not going to get any showing done, and we're not going to get any building done unless we do what? That's right. We need to knock off that chit-chat and get to work. Well, here's our little stand. I think it looks a lot better with the hunter green, and hunter green is the only thing that I know of that goes with the brown of the stain. A couple of weeks ago we talked about cleaning up this back wall the way it is now, with my jointer sitting in here and my router table sitting over here. I can't get to this back wall easily to get tools off the wall or get to my clamps. My goal is to get everything off this central vacuuming system. This is the idea we're trying to achieve with our integral system. Both of these have shop vacs inside the case. This is my joiner that I'm going to build the case for. Here's a little schematic of the case we're going to build, at least the carcass. It'll be about 30 inches wide, about 30 inches tall, with good wheels on it, and this vertical drawer right here. On this drawer, the drawer guides will be on the top and on the bottom, and the drawer will slide out, but it'll be vertical. So I don't even know if this is called a drawer. I think it's called a pantry drawer, not sure. But then it'll have little shelves inside of it so that when you slide it out, you can store stuff on these shelves right here, but there'll only be one drawer. We've got so much to do on this case that I'm going to kind of maybe skip forward a little bit. Putting the back on now. I got my pressure set at about 75 or 80. What I've done is put a bunch of glue on this, and I'm looking for any glue-starved areas here. And then I'm going to flip the whole case over on this, and I'll attach it with screws. This cabinet weighs quite a bit. So it's, right now it's wanting to, it's already got a lot of grip. Now I'm going to reach inside here with some little galvanized screws and stick the thing together. These screws will suck it up tight. And it'll really be very, very strong. I am pretty gratified that our drawing looks so much like the finished carcass. Remember our drawing? Came out about looking the same. Now I've been kind of rushing through the cabinet building because now we're going to build this drawer right here. It's going to have the shelves in it. And I'm going to flip it over on its side first so we can facilitate that. Now I can have this thing, you know, right up here so I can work on it. First thing, let's put some drawer slides in here so we can get the dimensions of our box. So what I've done here is I put this little block in here that's 4 1/8 inches wide that my drawer guide will fit on, and that exactly spaces it halfway in this space here. I like this system because it automatically spaces it and levels it, but it also supports it while I put the screws in. Well, since what we're making here is basically like a shelving system that we're going to slide in, that's going to be worked like a drawer, I got some of these edge glued panels laying around the shop here. Let's just make the whole box out of these. Here are the panels I'm talking about. Let's build the whole box, the bottom, top, sides, shelves, everything out of this material here. And another trick is this piece of wood right here is absolutely dead cold square. So I will square my box using this bottom. You can see that little smile right along there. You know, you wouldn't even pick it up with the naked eye, but it's only about 1/16 of an inch. But to square it up, all I got to do is just slide that over, and that's it. Well, the drawer fits in there, so let's work on the shelves on the inside of the drawer. And now I'm nailing the back to the shelves, nailing them and gluing them. Okay, let's set this thing up, take a look at it. There it is, and we'll rig it up in the box, and it should slide out just like that and put stuff in these little drawers. I'm installing the drawer guides roughly in the center. In this kind of drawer, I think it matters. In a regular drawer, it doesn't matter really. You can put it anywhere. But here, I think it should be balanced right in the center. Okay, let's see if it goes in there. Okay, let's flip it over and see if it works as designed. Okay, here's the test. What do you think? I want the drawer front and the door to be of similar design, but this is so narrow that I can't really put a door front on here. So I went looking through my wood mess, which I used to call a wood storage unit, and this is what I found. I found this edge-glued oak panel. I think I cut it to 11.5 inches, and I think this will be stable enough because it's strips of oak that are glued together instead of a solid oak board, which would twist up. We'll sand her up a little bit. Well, here's our nice little drawer. Works pretty good, and it looks pretty good, I think. The kind of door we're going to make consists of this outer panel here, held together with pocket screws. The only thing to remember on pocket screws, well, there's a few things to remember, but the main thing, don't screw them in too far. I mean, too hard, because you'll chip out that end grain. Just put a little glue on it. And we'll be finishing this thing up pretty soon. Well, there's our little door. There's our shelf. Let's put that knob on there, and then we'll do some sanding and put some stain on it. I'm going to go ahead and stain it, and then we can take it off the bench and rig that jointer to it. In order to get this thing off the bench, I installed that little handle there, and I think that'll give me enough leverage to get this thing within, 6 inches of the deck before it finally falls. Now I know the case can take anything, but this will be a durability test for the wheels. You see why I like to film it when I take things off the bench? Because something like that might happen, and I get to see it. This is a hole for the hose here to go through. Well, there we have it for Memphis Monday 185. Got our joiner table with built-in dust collection. Handy little slide-out shelves. Over here I got it rigged up like my chop saw. I just got a power strip there with both cords going in there. Finished all the way around in oak. By the way, I built this thing out of marine plywood. Toughest stuff I could get. That does it for Memphis Monday 185. Making the joiner stand with the slide out drawer. Had some excitement taking it off the bench. The thing must weigh 800 pounds. But I think it turned out all right. I damaged the door a little bit when I took it off the bench, but I'll fix that later. All right, so I think we got some takeaways. Like and favorite and Facebook and tweet and peek and poke and all the stuff you do on the internet, but most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.